Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to take a look at a plugin that you guys have been writing me emails about ever since it came out, and that is the new Ocean Way Deluxe by Universal Audio. It's been out a little bit now. I've played with it a little bit. I want to kind of give you my first impressions and tell you what I think. Why? Because you asked me. So if you want to know what I think about the Universal Audio Ocean Way Deluxe, that's what we're going to talk about in this video. So stick around. Okay, everybody, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to take a look at Universal Audio's redo of the original Ocean Way plugin that came out several years ago. This is the Ocean Way Deluxe. Let's take a look at it in Studio One here. Here is Ocean Way Deluxe. It's completely revamped. If you have the original, you know that compared to this looks like it was made in the 1980s. But this is really cool. This is not only just a refresh of the GUI, but really has so many more features and is fully, you just so much you could do with this plugin. It is ridiculous. Now, I will say that Universal Audio, Drew from Universal Audio, did a video, like a 40-minute video, walking through every single setting, every single mode, explaining in detail whatever little nook and cranny of this plugin does. And I'm going to link that in the description box. You should go watch that because honestly, I would never be able to explain this plugin in detail as well as Drew did, so you should go check out that video. But I just want to kind of give you my first impressions. This is very similar to the Sound City Studios plugin that came out, I think in the beginning of 2025. As I'm recording this video, it's the end of 2025. By the time you see this video, this has been out probably a month or so. So I'm a little late to the party, but I wasn't even going to do a video, but again, you guys asked for it. So first thing I want to do is just tell you a little bit about what I've done here in this session. So I have a quick little session here: drums, electric guitar, bass, piano, and such. And I threw Ocean Way Deluxe on a couple of different tracks. We have a pair of overheads going to a group track, which I put Ocean Way on, which will walk through what I did with it. Then I have a mono room that I threw Ocean Way on as well. And then we have a piano and an electric guitar bus, distorted electric guitars. I just want to show you what we can do here. So first, let's just take a listen to this little piece of music here, which has all of these things engaged, and then we'll break it down and I'll show you what I did, and then you can go ahead and you can check this out for yourself. Here we go. So you can hear what it does right away. So this is on the overheads. Let me solo up the overheads here, and let me just kind of show you what I did here. It's on a group track. So here is our original overheads. Okay, and there's the after. So again, I'm not going to walk through every single section of this plugin. You can go watch the Universal Audio video I linked in the description box below. Oh, and by the way, if you have the original Ocean Way, now this is a $249 plugin when it first came out, and I wasn't going to buy it, to be quite honest, because I have Sound Cities, which is just as good in my mind. It looks exactly the same as this, some few different features in it, but it's great. But if you have the original Ocean Way, the new Ocean Way Deluxe was only 49 bucks. So I picked it up. So you may want to check that out. I don't know if that deal is still going on, but I bought it at the upgraded price. Anyway, so again, across the top here, we have Studio A and Studio B, okay? And Studio B looks a little different. It has different controls in it, different gear in it, different console. Okay, we have some different sources here. Drums we can have in the wall, corner. We have acoustic sources, speakers, PAs, and 412 and 212 cabinets, vocals, ensembles, and then we have two modes: remic and reverb. I'm using the overheads here in remic mode, which is where you can control the three sets of microphones. We have close, room 1, and room 2. That if we click this little mixer button, you can see here I'm only using the first two, the close and room 1. And you can pick between different microphones that completely change the sound, which is really cool, which is what I did here. So what I did here is I'm using the close mics. I'm using the AKG C12s, which just sound awesome. So if I play this back, So you can completely change the direct signal sound source, which is really great. If you didn't want to do that, you can just put it in reverb mode and just get the sound of the rooms. But I kind of like this. And you can also, on the GUI, you can drag these closer or further away depending on what you like. You can do this right in the GUI, or you could do it up here with the distance knob. Again, you can go watch Drew's video to show you all those little nooks and crannies. But for overheads, I wanted to put these a little closer. Completely transforms the sound. And if I come over to the effects here, they have an EQ section, dynamic and chambers. Again, really, really cool. I'm just using a splash of each here. On the dynamic section, they've modeled an 1176, a Fairchild, an LA2A. There's a crust track for like a parallel thing, an air track, and a DBX 160. Which is cool, and you can how much amount of compression do you want, what the mix knob, how much wet dry do you want. Really cool. So here's before. Awesome. Now if I bring that back in the mix, and then I'll just turn it off here with the power button so you can see me turn it off, you'll hear what it does to the drums. Let me just solo up the drum bus so you can just hear it with the drums. That would be a cool thing to do. Let's do that. Hey friend, hope you're enjoying the video. Hey, do you need help with your home studio setup? Do you have questions about recording, mixing, and mastering and need personalized help? Or maybe you need some business coaching to turn your studio into a money-making machine. If so, stop wasting hours on YouTube searching for answers and conflicting advice. Book a private one-on-one Zoom session with me and let me help you end the frustration you're having with your studio so you can get back to what's important, making killer music. Click the link in the description for more info. Now back to the video. Really great, awesome. I use these kinds of room emulation. I've used those, the original Ocean Way Sound City Studios, or all the time on overheads. Same thing on rooms. Here is our room track for this. This is a mono room. I'll just turn it up here. Here's mono rooms. What a difference, right? So I'm again using remic mode here. I'm using the corner in Studio A. Now, if we switch to Studio B, it should change completely the sound. Let's see. So you can turn off each one of these modules on and off, which is really cool. Again, here's before. Crazy, right? I mean, crazy what this thing can do. Really sounds great. Bring it in the drum. I'll bring it in the drum mix, and then we'll bring it into the whole mix. Let me solo this up. Here we go. awesome. So it can really, just with those two simple instances, take something that sounds great. The direct mics sound great, but the overheads in the rooms were probably recorded in not the most ideal space. This gives you that impression that it was recorded in a really high-end studio like Ocean Way. Sounds really good. Now we also have something like here with piano. Let me put it on the piano here. Well, here it's coming up right here. So we have our piano track here. Let's listen to this. So here I'm just using the reverb mode and I'm using the wet dry knob here. So here we go. I'll start with it off and then I'll kick it in when the piano comes in. Beautiful, right? So again, I'm using the acoustic space here. I'm using piano. And again, you can kind of, so you should cycle around and audition different setups here, even if it's not for the instrument that you're using. You could probably find some really cool, unique sounds, which is really cool. But again, I like to use this kind of subtle. We can use the wet dry knob. So I like a little goes a long way with a plugin like this. I think this sounds really good. Again, we'll put it in the mix here, and then we'll take it away. Just watch the power button. Awesome. Electric guitars. I have a bunch of electric guitars going down to an electric guitar bus for simplicity for this video. Let's take a listen to this. Now this is really cool because here we're using the speaker room here and we're using our 412 cabinet, which is really cool in Studio B. Let's check this out. I solo up these guitars so you can hear what this does. This makes a huge difference. Check this out. Here's without it. I mean, what a difference that makes, right? The 412 cabinet thing sounds really cool. So in this instance, I'm using the close mics and one set of room mics here that I've kind of tweaked. And again, I'm using the re-mic mode, so we're redoing the signal, so we don't have that real buzzy sound. And I'm using a 121 on the close mics and a C12 on the second set of mics. And what a difference that really makes, especially in the mix. And you can, oops, you can close this. We can go to the effects. You can see what I'm doing for effects here. A little bit of top end EQ, rolled off some lows, mids are straight up the middle, a little bit of 1176. Killer. For 50 bucks, if you have the original Ocean Way, worth it all day long. If you, and this is all native too, by the way, you don't need any universal audio hardware, just like the Sound City as well. Now, do you need to have both of them? Well, if you're a plug-in junkie like me and you really love universal audio, and I think I own 99% of all the universal audio plugins, I've been using them since the UAD1, which is 20 years old, maybe, I don't know. But then you may want to have both because there are some slightly different flavors. If you don't have any plugin like this at all, you don't have the original, you don't have Sound City, you don't have any of the IK Multimedia, Sunset Sound, or anything like that, this is a killer plugin to have. If you have one of these things, this is great. You'll find that you'll use it on drum overheads and rooms all the time. You may not use them on all the different elements of your mix, every mix, because it really depends on the sound source and how it was recorded in the track and all of that. But this is a great way to get real high-end studio sounds with stuff that wasn't recorded in a high-end studio. This is a great plugin. Now, some people are going to ask me, because I've done reviews on the iKey Multimedia Sunset Sound and the Sunset Sound, or excuse me, the iKey Multimedia Fame plugin, which were really good. Those came out a couple of years ago. And I know some of you are going to ask me, would I get the Universal Audio stuff over the iKey Multimedia or vice versa? Vice versa. I would have the UA stuff for sure. I find this way more flexible, a lot more options, maybe a little bit too many options but they also got great presets too, by the way. You can search their presets and that's a great starting point. I love the GUI of the Universal Audio stuff, and I just love the way Universal Audio stuff sounds. If you use this thing in kind of a more subtle way, I've used it a little more drastic today for this demonstration. It could really, it just makes the whole track sound much more pro sounding. It really truly does. So I would say if it's a toss up between the iKey Multimedia studio emulations or the UA stuff, in my opinion. This one over Sound City, to me, they're both great. If you have one of them, you're fine. But again, if you have the original Ocean Way, this is a far cry better than that. Obviously, it's completely rebuilt. So this is really cool. I really, really like this. I got to play with this more. Let me know in the comments if you'd like me to do some more videos on this. I've only used this a couple of times since it's come out, and I've just kind of tweaked it in. And again, I highly recommend you go watch Drew's video from Universal Audio, because he explains everything better than anyone I've ever seen do it. And he should. He works Universal Audio. He should be a pro at this stuff. They make really great videos on their products. So go check that out and let me know what you think in the comments below about this plugin. I think it's great. Thumbs up here from Uncle Dave. Go check this one out. No, it's not a sponsored video, anything like that. I paid for this with my own money. Universal Audio doesn't know I'm making this video. So anyway, that's my opinion on the UA Ocean Way Deluxe plugin. Until the next video where we check out some more cool plugins, I've been Dave with HomeRecordingMadeEasy.com. Thank you so much for watching me, everybody, and I'll see you in the next video.